Hello and welcome to another edition of Goa 365's Face to Face. Now today we are facing a lot of rain. We've got a lot of rain in Goa, and even yesterday it was raining. Today there's hot sun, then a couple of days back it was raining sun. So with us is the IMD Met Department scientist Rahul M. Rahul ji, welcome to our show once again, and he will give us some details about what has been happening in the state, about the monsoon and generally, and also about various issues, especially that it has rained practically I think every month, if I'm not mistaken, of this year. Rahul ji, yes, please.
Talking about rains, we will start with how the southwest monsoon of 2021 was. Comparing to previous years, like in 2019 and 2020, we had excess monsoon years. That means the rainfall, seasonal total of rainfall was quite high than the long period average values. Such as in 2019, if you are speaking about, it was around 33% higher. In 2020, it was around 41% higher. And to compare to all that, in 2021, we had monsoon which was only 6% higher. It was a normal monsoon, to speak about it.
Okay.
And then it started the post-monsoon season, which we, as per the IMDs criteria, we count it from the 1st of October. And the post-monsoon season continues till the end of December. So now in this particular post-monsoon season, till now we have got quite a good amount of rainfall. But again, I would refrain myself from telling it is the most intense rainfall that we have ever received also, because as per our data, we have that in 2010 and in 1965 we had even more amount of rainfall. In 1965-66 it was around 212 millimeters. 212 centimeters of rainfall till now. In November we had quite a good amount of rainfall, but again it was not the highest ever November rainfall. In 1966 we had around 212 centimeters of rainfall and 212 millimeters of rainfall rather, and in this year and in 2010 which comes the second position, which is around 180 millimeters of rainfall. But yes, the activity has been continuous, and we are not quite surprised. I mean, it's not actually a surprising thing that Goa receives rainfall in the month of October or November. They are basically called the cyclone seasons as well. So once in every 3 or 4 months, 3 or 4 years, it's normal that some cyclone pops up even on the Arabian Sea, and we get good amount of rainfall. So that's quite normal for the post-monsoon rainfall activity. But yes, in this year it has come quite a higher amount, and even though it did not cross the highest ever count, it is still on the higher side.
Rahulji, my point was not so much that about the quantum. My point was that it has been raining right from January till December continuous. Whether it's been raining little or no, that's not. Yeah, that I agree. Even with it raining not so much, we have seen floods in all over. My point is, it has been raining. We are not getting a break. There is no summer. There is no winter. Looks like, at least for us. Is that correct? What I'm saying?
Yeah.
It looks like, at least.
Yeah, in some aspect, and in of course. It's a true fact that in this calendar year 2021, we have received or recorded rainfall in all the 12 months. There has been a few number of years in the past also where it rained for 10 months or 11 months. But based on the available data, it's for the first time that we are finding all the 12 months have got some amount of rainfall. But I would again would like to see through another angle.
Okay.
Now the thing is for IMD Goa, as far as IMD Goa is concerned, now in Goa state we have around 15 or 16 instruments installed, which are reporting to us every day.
Okay.
So it's quite obvious that even if any small quantum of rainfall takes place, that is getting reported. We have a better coverage now. Now, if we compare it to 30 years before or 60 years before, the number of rain gauge stations, the number of automatic instruments, they're all much lesser. So there is some possibility that even in the previous years it has taken place, but it escaped from getting recorded just because there were not enough equipments, there were not enough coverage of instruments. But yes, as per records, we have to agree that this was the first year that was recording all the 12 months with some amount of the other rainfall.
Yeah, fair enough, Rahulji. But the issue is that about the people like Goa now, we are living in Goa for so many years. We've never seen right from January to December. I mean, the technical part, I would agree with you. We cannot dispute the facts and figures. But for us, it's very funny. January there is rain. Now October, November there is rain. December there is rain. I don't know. So could there be a reason for this, or is it just because every 3-4 years this cyclonic activity happens? Is there is that's the only reason, or could there possibly be some other reasons?
Now, frankly to speak, neither the January rainfall is the first event in the history of Goa, nor the February rainfall event is the first in the history of Goa. They all do take place. Only thing was in this year, in February, that was, I would say, more rare than the January rain. In this year, even the February rainfall was there, and again in November also there was good amount of rainfall. So these two actually filled the gap of those 12 months, where usually the other years failed. They sometimes had January month rainfall recorded, and only the February month rainfall was not there. And there were some years when January and February got rainfall, but in November and December it missed. But this year it happened that all the 12 months got some amount of rainfall.
What could be the reason for that? Because of the cyclone season?
We cannot attribute it to a single reason. Now we are talking about January and February. I'll start with. In January and February in this year 2021, there were a lot of easterly systems. Like usually in that part of that time, the winds over Goa is supposed to be from the northern side or northeastern side. Means the drier side they should come from, and accordingly the temperature also should drop for the winter to have. But in 2021, these winds were mostly either easterlies or southeasterlies, bringing moisture from the Bay of Bengal side and resulting in some thunderstorm activities also. You may be remembering this was the first year that we saw some hail activity also over Goa in the month of February.
Correct.
So that was one thing, these easterly systems which resulted in rather higher minimum temperature also, along with the rainfall activity in these winter months. And talking about post-monsoon season, October and November, that is actually a quite normal thing to have rainfall, because cyclones do pop up in Bay of Bengal, then over Arabian Sea. So that's in a way normal to have rainfall in October and November. If I just compare it with previous years, in 2020 we had one cyclone in this October, November, December season over Arabian Sea. Why I'm telling about Arabian Sea? Because that's the part where the systems more affect Goa more with its presence and intensity. In 2019, we had two cyclones over Arabian Sea. One of them was even a super cyclone. So if we look at it in that angle, in this year till now there is a cyclone to form. So we have been lucky in that there is no severe system such as cyclone over Arabian Sea, at least till now in this season. So they're all like varying. Climate is supposed to vary, weather is supposed to change. So I don't see anything that abnormal with it. But for the stats and records, yes, this was the first year which recorded 12 months of rainfall.
Yeah, Rahulji, what I'm saying is now the monsoon, the cyclone, just wanted a little bit of clarification. The monsoon that the cyclones that have taken place till now, I think 2 or 3, and one is supposed to be hitting Andhra in any time now. Those are mostly in the Bay of Bengal, right, Rahulji?
Yeah, in this year we had only one cyclone up to now over Arabian Sea. That was, nobody can forget that, that's the Taukte cyclone, which
yes.
had huge impact over Goa.
Yeah.
So that was the only cyclone in this year till now. Most of them are, then there was one other cyclone which hardly had an impact over Goa. That was Shaheen. That was in the late September or early October, but hardly it produced any effect over Goa. So these were the two cyclones in fact.
In the Arabian Sea. In the Arabian Sea.
Yes, right.
And the other ones, whatever is coming, and even now the one that is coming, that's all happening in the Bay of Bengal, right?
Yeah, right. The one that is forming, and within it has actually formed into a cyclone now as we are speaking, and is going to move towards the North Andhra Pradesh, South Odisha coast in the coming 24 hours. So that cyclone, which is called Jawad, that also is over Bay of Bengal, and it is not expected to have any significant impact over Goa.
When you mean significant, means will there be little rain, will there be little thunderstorms, lightning, or what exactly? How could Goa get affected?
Yeah, we are not expecting any rainfall activity because of that.
Okay, okay.
That system is actually going to make the winds come over Goa from the dry part, not from the ocean side.
Okay.
So we are not expecting any rainfall activity or thunderstorm activity. Whatever light rainfall that may be there for the 2 days, including today and tomorrow, that could be from another system that's there over Arabian Sea. The same one which caused record-breaking rainfall over Panji 2 days ago on 1st of December. So whatever we are going to get the clouding, we are finding the light rainfall that we are experiencing over the South Goa district today morning. They were light rainfall actually. So all these things are because of that particular system, and not because of the cyclone that is going to form or already formed.
Okay, I just want to get back a little bit. Now, 2 days back, 3 days back, you said that Panji got record rain. Could you give us some details if you have?
Right. Now, this was the highest single day rainfall over Panaji in the month of December. Now, we recorded 102.9 millimeters, approximately speaking, 10 centimeters of rainfall.
Okay.
And this became the highest because before this, the highest was in the month of December 1965.
I see.
It was also
1965.
65. It was also a 10 centimeter rainfall. 100 millimeters of rainfall was recorded on that particular day. Now this year that record got broken by around 3 millimeters.
That was on the 1st.
Yeah, it was on the 1st of December.
1st of December. Wow. Okay, okay. Now, I want to, another thing I want to just ask you. Now, so basically what you're saying is that what we have seeing is not very abnormal. It's just for us, I think for the locals it is a little irritating because you have got to roam around with the raincoats. Like suddenly it rains in the sun, and then when you still have to roam around with your umbrellas and everything. But there's nothing new about, exceptional or about this, whatever has happened, right? As far as the rainfall is concerned, right?
No, we cannot conclude that it was anything exceptional, because even in last December we had rainfall. And in 2013 or 14, if you are checking, we had a January rainfall or February rainfall. Then it's not that unusual thing. But one thing, if you are asking me about some change from the regular values, that I can tell you that this December rainfall activity, if you are taking and considering the long period of rainfalls in December, let's take the example of Panji station, which we have data for almost 120 years. In that, December rainfall was there in all these 120 years 35 times. That means 35 Decembers there was rainfall.
Okay.
And out of that, 13 number, that means almost more than 1/3 of that was for the period from 1990 to 2021.
Okay.
In all those other 90 years or 80 years, we had 22 Decembers producing rainfall, and after that, in the next 30 years, we had 13 number of December rainfalls. So the change that we are speaking about, that has been there, not from 2019 or 2020. That is there from almost 30 years.
But the frequency is increasing from the earlier time. That's what the data shows, right?
Yeah, the December rainfall has slightly increased over the 100 years. Now again, when we are speaking about IMDs value, the long period average values that we keep, that are actually for every 30 years. Like if you are asking me what's the normal rainfall of June, that's the rainfall or normal temperature of June, that's for the past 30 years that we are taking average of. So in other terms, every 30 years it is supposed to have some change in the normal values, some change in the temperatures normal values, some change in the rainfall normal values. So that's why even IMD adopts to a 30 period cycle for taking normal values. So if you are searching the normals and considering the 100 year or 120 years data, yes, in the 30 years there has been some increase in this December rainfall events.
Rahulji, one thing, now we had a bad experience with this cyclone Taukte. Now, if in future, is it possible that another cyclone Taukte and all can happen in the Arabian Sea? Because normally Goa had not seen such intense effects of any cyclone. Is it possible? Its possibilities are there.
It is in fact possible. Why? Because there have been multiple studies which prove scientifically that the surface temperature of Arabian Sea is increasing. The oceans in a general are increasing, and out of that Arabian Sea's temperature also is increasing. So when the surface temperature of sea increases, that gives a more probability for cyclones to form, and it helps the cyclones to sustain for a longer period. The longer they sustain, the more intense they usually become. So there has been some increase in the cyclones, particularly over Arabian Sea from the year of let's say 2000 onwards. And there has been some critical events, like in 2019 we had two cyclones, one extremely severe cyclone and one super cyclone, both simultaneously coexisting over Arabian Sea. So the situations have been quite different over the past 20 or 30 years over Arabian Sea. The number of cyclones are increasing. So there is, I mean, at this point of time, we cannot sit back and relax telling that Goa is not prone to cyclones effect. Whatever cyclone comes, that goes towards the Arabian Peninsular India, Arabian Peninsula region, and there is no chance for West Coast to get hit by a cyclone. So that scenario is slowly changing, yes.
So is this, I don't want to get into the global warming issue, but is it because, just because of the warming, as you said, I just want to clarify, it's because of the temperatures of the Arabian Sea and the general oceans are going, is it because of that, right?
Yes, it's going along with the common trend that we are observing. The temperatures are rising, land temperature normal values are rising, and along with that the ocean temperatures also are rising, and we can attribute it towards the global warming. That means the normal temperatures are, yes, getting increased.
Now that means now in December, Jan, we were getting a little bit of cold. Will that affect this or no? We will still get a few days, or by, I don't know, from some days. We used to get pretty cold, 19, 20 degrees. Will that affect that?
Yeah, the latest winter forecast that IMD has released, which says that over Goa, the minimum temperatures are going to be normal for this season. Last season it was quite different. We did not have much of any lower temperatures in the winter times. But this time the forecast is that for the longer period, for around 3 months if you are calculating, it is somewhat around normal value it is going to be. So yes, for your question, there is a possibility that the winter is very likely to be normal over Goa in this season.
But now when you mean normal, means the temperatures will be around 19, 20, 21, or will it be like last year was, I think not, last year was, I think we didn't go below 21 or 22, I'm not
exactly
very sure.
Last year it did not go like it was going in 2019 or 2018. We even had once or twice 18 degrees recorded in the previous years.
Yes,
but
that's
not in 2021. Now in coming year, like the actual winter or the lowest of temperatures getting recorded in Goa are during the months of January and February.
I see.
So with the present status, we can expect that the temperatures, minimum temperatures, will be hovering around those values, those normal values. Hopefully with the forecast also predicting the same, it may not be a warm winter this time.
Yeah, hopefully, yes, yeah. But now what we see is as we end, I wanted to know, now we see a lot of this fog and haze and dew already there. Is there any particular reason why we see this?
No, haze and fog are quite a normal thing in this season, post-monsoon season. And Goa experiences some significant amount of fog when there is this transition of seasons, like when it is changing from February to March or from September to October. There is this normal phenomena of fog or haze. So with consideration to these two features, they are still normal over Goa. We cannot find anything totally unusual about it.
Now, are we going to get a very rainy Christmas, or is it going to give us a break for our Christmas and New Year, Rahulji?
Again, I'll go back to that winter forecast of IMD released on 1st of December. It says that the rainfall for Goa or around Goa, it is going to be slightly lower than its normal value for winter period. So that gives us some comfort that the rainfall activity will be lesser in the month of December. And ideally speaking, the medium range forecast of IMD and extended range forecast of IMD can tell you up to around 14 days with good confidence that what is going to happen.
Okay.
So with latest observations, we can say that for the coming approximate for 2 weeks, there is very less chance of any rainfall to take place. And even the clouding that we are finding now, that is going to get dissipated in 2 to 3 days. From around 7th of December onwards, we will have pleasant weather over Goa. And with the models indicating the same for almost 14 days, hopefully the conditions will continue. But again, from the point of meteorology, what we would always request is that to keep on updated with the latest forecast and warnings, because whatever we are getting for or we are projecting for the next 7 days or 14 days is based on the latest data input that we are giving, latest satellite observations that we are giving. So that's again the request that regularly being updated about weather is the best way to be prepared about the weather.
Yeah, thanks Rahulji for giving us. Anyway, I hope that we get a non-rainy Christmas and a New Year this year. Thanks for updating on that. But it's very interesting that this is probably the first time that we've got rain in all the 12 months. That's very interesting. And not so interesting and not so a little scary is that cyclones, we may get hit by cyclones in the future. Possibly because of the rise in temperature. Thank you, Rahulji, for coming on our show. Thank you.
Thank you.
And keep watching Goa 365.